Welcome to Gaga Knits. My name's Anita and I live in South Wales in the UK, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Anita Ball, and show notes can be found in the description box below. I hope you've had a nice few weeks since we spoke last. We have been away in the caravan again. We were very fortunate this year, so I've had 3 holidays in the caravan. One with my friend Paula, one with just Martin and myself, and this time, to start off with, it was just Martin and myself, and then Jodie and Matthew came with the boys and we went for a day out in Folly Farm, and some friends from work met us there too, and we had a lovely day. I don't know if you've been to Folly Farm before, but well, it's not a theme park, it's a farm and a zoo, and it's got some well, they say vintage fair rides, but I remember the fair rides that they've got there, so not that old. And they've got play areas and picnic areas. And we had such a lovely day, and we didn't even get to go around the farm because we arrived pretty much as the place was opening, and we left as it was closing, and we still didn't get time to go around the farm. And then everybody went home apart from Harry. He stayed with us for a few days at the caravan on his own, and then my dad and stepmum joined us in their motorhome, and we had a few more days, and we had a lot of fun. And I have taken some more photos. I'm really sorry because every episode there seems to be photographs from Pembrokeshire at the end, but I could go every month for a year and still find nice places that I haven't been for that I can show you. And when we all came home, we all came down with a sickness bug. So Jodie and Matthew got it first, then me, and then poor little Harry. But we've all recovered now and everything's back on track. So this episode I have got, let me look at my notes, knitting wise, 4 finished objects and 2 works in progress. Sewing wise, a finished object, which is very unlike me. I have an acquisition to share with you that is also a giveaway, and a crafty project that I would like to show you too. So let's get on with the knitting. My first finished object are Nicky's socks. Now, if you remember last time, I was so nearly finishing, I just had to put one more afterthought heel in, and I couldn't find my sock blockers, but I found them now, and I've put them on to show you to prove that I have 2 socks. And I can send these away to Nicky now. I should have done it ages ago, but I wanted to show you the finished object before I sent them, so they can go off to Canada and hopefully they will fit Nicky's feet. We had a bit of an issue with the templates because she sent me a template and the foot size was very similar to mine, and I'm a 5 and she insists she's a 6.5. And a very nice lady on Instagram said that in Canada the sizing is different, but the sizing is actually smaller in Canada than here, so it still didn't make any sense. So I'm hoping that they fit her when she gets them anyway. And my second finished object is the Picacho peak hat that I started a little while ago. Here it is, and it's a slouchy hat that I made in this 4-ply yarn. I won this yarn in, I think it was in Wonderwool, in a love knitting booth where you did a like a, what do you call that, sort of spin the wheel, and then you couldn't lose really, you had to choose something out of 3 bins, and I chose this yarn. Now the pattern said that you needed 100 grams to make the hat, and these were only 50 grams, so I looked on the internet and I found Bearhouse Alpacas, their website, and I sent for another ball of yarn, and it turned out I didn't need it because I had this much left of the 50-gram ball, and I made the hat. And I have noticed I haven't sewn the end in because I decided to block it first, then sew the end in, and I blocked it on a balloon, and I think I blocked it a little bit too large, but I shall put it on and show you. So it's a nice slouchy hat, and I quite like it being this big because when I'm out walking the dog, I think this is going to be really nice. And it doesn't matter that I've got a ball left, because I think when Jodie sees this hat, she's going to want one, because she hasn't got a bigger head than me, but she's got loads of wild hair, which will fit nicely in this nice loose hat, and it isn't itchy at all. So some of their hats, they itch you on the forehead when you get a bit hot, but this yarn is absolutely lovely. Alpaca. Oh, except little threads come off and make you itch. So that's my second finished object, and my third and fourth are the same pattern. So a friend of mine, her daughter is expecting identical twin boys in November, and I decided to make them both a little hat. How adorable is that little baby there? So cute. And here they are. Let me put them, I'll put them on my hands. So here they are, two little hats. They were so obviously easy to knit. I used some leftover yarn, and it's acrylic, King Cole, Candy Stripe, DK and Blueberry. I knit a little jumper for Jodie's friend in work. She was having a grandchild and she wanted a little sweater made. So this is the leftovers. And you had a choice of knitting the hat flat and just knitting a strip and sewing up the seams like that. So I did that one, or knitting in the round. So I knit the other one in the round, and then you had to use a 3 needle bind off. So I just thought I'd do the two different styles, since I was making identical hats. And I have to say, I liked knitting it on the straight needles better, because you could knit every round or every row, but using the circlers you had to knit a row and purl a row, and also, oh no, you wouldn't, yes, using the circlers you had to do magic loop, which took a little bit of time because you had to keep rearranging the stitches. So in this case the straight needles won through, and I put 2 little pom-poms on each one. So hopefully she'll like those, and as the babies are coming in November, they'll need some little hats, won't they? So that's my 1, 2, 3, 4 finished objects. I have 2 works in progress. The first is in my beautiful bag from Craft House Magic, and I believe she has some of these in her shop as we speak. And it is, of course, the Bonny sweater that I am knitting to join in with Constance from Stitching Over the Days, her Kim Hargreaves along. There it is. And that's pretty similar to mine. I think the colour is very similar. The yarn I'm using is the Drops Kid Silk in Pearl Grey, and here it is. And if you can see where I am decreasing, you've got the little eyelets, so it's very pretty. And this progress keeper isn't actually to mark my progress, it is where I've dropped a stitch, because I am using these Addy needles 3.75, and they are lovely to knit with, but they are very blunt, and to do the decreases at the end of the knit row you have to knit 2 stitches together through the back of the loop, and with this, and you're holding 2 strands of yarn, they're just so blunt that it's quite hard to do, and obviously I dropped a stitch. So I'm being really careful with that. I can't change my needles over because I don't have any other circlers in 3.75, and I know I could buy some, but I've got these, so I might as well use these and just be careful. So that's coming along nicely. I'm only on the back, but it does take quite a while because it's 4-ply and it's quite a loose sweater, so it's quite a lot of knitting, but it is only knit a row, purl a row, and the only thing that's holding me up are those decreased stitches, because I really have to be careful that I don't drop a stitch. And my final work in progress is this pattern, which is from Women's Weekly. I sent for it from their website quite a while ago because I was meant to make it for Harry when he was little, and he's 6 now. So instead I'm making it for Jack because I'm using all my leftover yarn. I've got quite a lot of yarn to show you. In my basket here, all these different colours, and I crocheted a dog blanket a while ago, and I had lots of colour left over, and it's just acrylic. I think it's mostly Stylecraft, and probably from Wool Warehouse. So I have started one row, so you get 4 pockets on each row, and then you sew on the duplicate stitch is called, isn't it, where you do the letters, and then you make lots of little, like, oh, where is it, this side, like a B for bead, a duck for duck. So I'm going to make that for Jack, and Harry can help with putting them all in the right pockets. And it might also teach them to tidy up after themselves as well. So dual purpose pattern. So that's all my knitting, and my sewing finished object this week is the Tillian Buttons Agnes top. Here it is. I am so pleased with this top. I did have a problem with it. It's very simple, and last time I did say I was either going to do the ruching on the sleeve or the neckline, but I didn't do any of that because I chickened out. Because, a good reason why, I sewed it all on my overlocker, and I've never done that before, and I originally thought, well, I'll do it on the overlocker, but I will turn the scissors off, and then I thought, no, just do it, and I did, and it worked really well, and I'm so pleased with it. And the only bit you don't do on the overlocker is obviously the hems, and I have got a twin needle which I've never used, and but I was, as it was going so well, I didn't want to use the twin needle because some people have said it leaves like it can leave a ridge if it's not done properly. So I just zigzag stitch, which Tilly recommends in the pattern anyway. So I was really pleased with that. And the fabric I got from Cheryl at Stitchy Bee, and I had a little problem with the fabric, and it's not Cheryl's fault and it's not the fabric's fault. It's me, because I don't know enough, because I bought 1.5 meters of 150 centimetre wide jersey. There was no salvage edge. It stretches both ways. It looks the same on both sides, and it was a square. So I didn't know which was the right way to cut it. So I just guessed. So I have no idea. I haven't worn it yet. If it's going to stretch out. Does it stretch out if you do it the wrong way? I don't know. I just can't tell. Anyway, I shall wear it and I shall let you know how it holds up. And I also used for the first time, I have to go and get this because I've recorded this once, and then when I went to edit it, I couldn't find it, so I'm going to have to do it all again. And as soon as I finished recording last time, I put everything away. So I used this little roller that you get for using with carbon, the carbon paper. I got this ages ago and I never used it because I tried it out and thought, well, that doesn't work. But I think it was me that didn't work. So basically, you put the fabric down, you put the carbon paper down, you put the pattern on top, and you roll this around, and it leaves little dots of the ink from the carbon paper that you can then trace around with your rotary cutter. And it was brilliant. So between this and using my overlocker, it was pretty speedy sew. Yes, so I was really pleased with that, and like most people, I'm definitely going to make another one. and it doesn't worry me sewing with jersey, and I'm quite looking forward to using my overlocker again. I did have a problem with it actually that I've forgotten, because it was threaded up with grey threads, and I had to change them over to white, and I tied little knots and was pulling them through really gently. As I pulled them through, so the knots came undone, and I had to totally rethread the thing again, which wasn't actually as bad as I thought it was going to be. But for a while afterwards, I couldn't get the little threads all to wind around each other, but I did it over and over again, and I obviously did something different because it started working properly, and then I made my top. So all was good in the end. So that's my sewing. Let me just turn my page over because I have written some notes, because I always end up forgetting something. Right, acquisitions and a giveaway. When I came back from our caravan holiday and I looked on Ravelry, Ellie from Craft House Magic had very kindly gifted me her new pattern collection, and you probably all know about her new set of patterns. It's a beret and a cowl and some mitts. I shall put a picture here because I did a screenshot to show you, because I forgot to print the pattern off to show you. And so that was lovely of Ellie, and it was very kind, and I have thanked her, but thank you again, Ellie. And she also said that I could have a copy to give to one of you, my viewers. So if you would like a chance of winning three lovely patterns from Ellie, because it's the whole collection, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, or be a subscriber already, and leave a comment in the comments box below this video to say, if you won the pattern, which of the 3 patterns would you knit first? Because that's not too hard, is it? Just put that in, and I won't even hold you to it, so you don't even have to knit that pattern if you don't want to, because I'll never know. So good luck with that, and I look forward to seeing which pattern you knit first. Personally, I'm going to do the beret, because I crocheted a beret for myself a while ago, all different colours, and I was really looking forward to wearing it, and it didn't fit. It was way too small, and because it was lots of different colours, there was no point undoing it, because I'd have had yarn bits this long, so it was waste. So it is at the moment sat on top of my polystyrene head lady, because she has a very small head and I had to wedge it on her. So anyway, that's my acquisition and giveaway, and my very last thing for you is, excuse me a minute Arthur, when we go to the caravan, we always go to the Caro car boot sale, which is huge, and you can find loads of things there. And I found this rocking commode. It looks like a rocking commode, doesn't it? But that would be very messy and very unhygienic, even for a doll. So I think maybe, perhaps it was for a plant pot or a pen pot. I don't know. Anyway, it needs a bit of TLC, and most of the varnish has come off, so I'm just going to sand it down a little bit more. And I've got some of this Plasticoat Fast Dry Project enamel in cream. You just shake it up and spray it on, I think. So I'm going to rub this down, spray this, add some little cushions, possibly even lavender stuffed cushions to this, so that'll be a nice rocking chair for Arthur. Now, the only reason Arthur came into existence was because in the Lunar Lapin book there is the cutest armchair in the whole wide world, and I wanted to make it, and I thought, well, I can't make an armchair without the Lunar Lapin, so I've made Arthur to make the armchair. But although I've got this rocking chair, I am in the process of making a girlfriend for Arthur called Beatrice, and she's nearly completed. I have just got to do her arms, eyes and nose, and then I can make the armchair for Beatrice. She can have a nice comfy armchair to curl up in, and Arthur can have a nice comfy rocking commode with some cushions. He doesn't even have to get up to go to the toilet. That's how thoughtful I am. And I shall show you next week. Not next week, next episode. So hopefully by next episode I'll have finished Beatrice and I'll have finished the rocking chair, but not the armchair. Oh, and I forgot to say about the giveaway. I'm all over the place now because, like I say, I've done this once already. I will draw for a winner in my next episode, which will probably be either the end of September or the beginning of October. So if you do subscribe and hit the notification button, because I'm not quite sure when my next episode will be released. That sounds grand, doesn't it? And then you can look up to see if you've won or not. So anyway, that's my little crafty project there for Arthur, and all I've got left now is to put some final pictures of Pembrokeshire. They're mostly Pembroke Castle because we went there one day and it's a absolutely amazing day out, well worth it. You have to pay to go in, but it isn't very much and you can spend all day there. There's a small dungeon because most castles apparently didn't have dungeons down in the sort of cellar area. That sort of films have done that. But they've got loads and loads of windy stairs and secret passageways and brilliant views. It was a lovely sunny day, which also helped. But it's a brilliant day out. So if you're looking somewhere to go in Wales, if you're visiting Wales or live here, go to Pembroke Castle. Highly, highly recommend it. Anyway, have a nice few weeks until I speak with you again, and I shall see you soon. Bye.